Lanka, Lanka, can you check the? Yes. There are some people trying to come. Okay, so I would like to welcome you all on behalf of Bhavana Society. So this look like there are some familiar faces as well as newcomers. You all are warmly welcome to the Bhavana Society. The retreat that we're going to start, we have a name for that retreat. Name is three characteristics. So this is kind of interesting topic. The thing is, the Buddha had been spending 45 years to explain these three things. So within in 3-4 days, we may not be able to explain everything. We are here to confuse you. This topic is that much deep and very subtle. So at the end, if you really confuse and crazy, then we can fulfill our duties and responsibilities. Crazy about the samsara, not other things. So anyway, I think you might get some information through the orientations. Now there are some instructions about the practice. At the beginning of this retreat, we ask him to observe eight precepts. That is our tradition, Bhavana traditions. Precepts are kind of things that you have kind of stereotype idea. But precepts are the methods the Buddha introduced to develop your mental health. So during the engagement with the Bhavana, meditation, and other activities, sila or precepts would be very helpful to have relaxed mind. That is the first thing. To reduce your stress, to reduce your anxiety and depression, precepts are the most important thing. So, therefore, traditionally, before guide our meditation, Bhavana, we have a traditions to ask from participants to observe 8 precepts, 8 monastic precepts. That's our traditions. But you don't want to worry about observing precepts or whether I'm going to become a Buddhist. No way. Observing precepts, no one can become Buddhist. Applying the method, yes, of course, you can become Buddhist. Whatever the religious places that you are going to worship, it doesn't matter. If you are following this method, you can be a Buddhist. So, precepts mainly focus on your mental health. That is the main purpose. So, during this time period, you are here, particularly you are here to increase your mindfulness, concentration. Through the concentration, there's a path to gain wisdom. So, you are here basically to gain wisdom. As we know, generally people have idea, yes, I'm going to meditate for what? To reduce my stress. This is kind of very simple things. And so, as we know, the Buddhist practitioners, they practice meditation to gain wisdom, not to reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. These are very simple things. So therefore, traditionally, who are coming to Bhavana to practice meditation, they are coming with that idea to gain wisdom. That is our goal. That is our main purpose. Why we want to gain wisdom? To find the solutions. Find a solution. So there's a sutta delivered by the Buddha, Loka Dhammata Sutta. Loka Dhammata Sutta is something directly about universal truth, the universal truth. So in that sutta, Buddha mentioned whether Tathagata appears in this world or not, this Dhamma will exist. This is kind of very unique explanation given by the Buddha. All religious leaders are all religious leaders had come to this world saying, I'm a messenger. I heard this message from the superpower of God. So then I'm here to pass this message for you, benefits for yourself. But Buddha is not a religious leader, therefore the Buddha mentioned here in Lokadhammata Sutta, whether Tathagata appears in this world or not, this established law, universal truth, is existing forever. That is eternal, never changing. What is that? That is, everything is impermanent. Suffering and selflessness. These 3 characteristics are the Dhamma that Buddha mentioned. So, therefore, we are trying to gain wisdom to realize this truth. The Buddha appears in this world as a Buddha for what? To teach this. Teach means to give us guidance to practice and to gain wisdom ourselves to realize these 3 characteristics. This is the universal nature, this is the reality. So the Buddha had been explaining this, spending 45 years as a Buddha, delivering 84,000 sermons. 84,000 sermons. So, attaining enlightenment himself, the Buddha spent 45 years delivering 84,000 sermons to explain. So, it means there are many ways that Buddha have been using to explain this nature, the reality, to understand it, to develop their wisdom, to realize the truth, to see things as they are. So this is the main thing about our topic, that our theme in this retreat. And so in this path, yes, sila, observances are very important to tame our word and actions, painful attention, reducing our stress, and painful attention to our mind. That is the meaning of mindfulness. Otherwise, you have a general idea what the Westerners use, mindful eating, mindful walking, mindful bird watching, mindful hunting, mindful fishing. All these are the words that they are using, but those words are not the words which is connected with the Buddha's explanation about sati. The Pali word is sati. Sati, we borrow to explain the sati, the word from English, mindfulness. Mindfulness is not the meaning that we generally use in the society. It's different. You can see through our discussions. So, in this retreat, we are trying to explain theory and the way how we can understand it, the practice. So, spending full 3 days, and today and the last day would be the half days. So, in this time period, we have a schedule to use and to give a practice and give some guidance to practice and to discuss your matters. And also, if there is a real matters with regarding your practice, as we can have some kind of interviews. Interviews are not in the schedule, but we are ready to use our question and answer time for the interviews too. So, in this way, tomorrow morning, Bhante will explain, he will guide at the beginning to meditate, and then he will spend another few minutes to explain about the concept of anicca, impermanence. And following day, Bhante will explain about what is the dukkha means, suffering. And next day, he will explain about selflessness. So then, three characteristics topics will be there with these topics. I might discuss something else during this time period. Every day, afternoon time, we have Dhamma sermons at 3 o'clock. We can have fun time. No need to discuss about anicca, dukkha, anatta. These are very heavy things. Let's have some kind of fun at that time. Okay, you ready? Agree. Okay. So we have a guest lecture also. Sunday evening, I invited a guest lecture. He has kind of a science background. He's a person who is specialized with content theory, which is very huge topic in modern society. So then we can see the way how scientists approach to these three characteristics. This is my idea, inviting to that professor to be with us and to share his knowledge and experience in modern way. So then traditional way, we go into Bhante will explain traditional way how we can see these three characteristics. And at the end of this retreat, that person, the professor will explain what could be the views, perceptions in modern science, and particularly physics and chemistry, and also mathematics, how they are approaching to see this. What kind of approaches they have, what kind of views they have, what kind of concept they have. We can see those things also during this retreat. And we have walking meditation, sitting meditation. Yes, of course, while you are sitting in all the time, if you have any troubles, you can stand, you can practice. And while we are sitting on cushions, if someone have difficulties sitting on cushions, yes, of course, you can walk inside the meditation hall, not outside, okay? Inside the meditation. And we have Q&A session, question and answers. So in Sangha hall, there's a box. You can, if you have any questions, you can write down into the papers and put it to that box. Every day in the evening, we have an opportunity to discuss about all these questions. These are the basic things, and most of you who participated the previous retreats, you know the method and system. So, if there is anything that particular things to discuss, to have a personal interviews, just let me know. I will try, because this schedule is very tight, but we will try to find a room for that if there is any particular very burning questions. And also, we have options for yoga. We have a yoga teacher, and she will guide you to practice yoga every day in the evening at, as I remember, according to the schedules, 5 at 5 o'clock. You can join with them and relax yourself. So these are the basic things about our schedules. And meditation hall is open 24 hours. So therefore, if someone willing to be here all night, you're welcome. Not to sleep, to meditate. So, and other times also, I mean, while something, if you are not interested to participate other events like let's think about yoga. If you're not interested to participate, yes, you can come and practice meditation here. The library is closed for the meditator. And we don't appreciate if someone try to read books during the retreat time, because you can read books everywhere. You are not here to read books. You are here to practice, to apply what you learn through your information. And these are the basic things about our practice. Okay, so then let's start with the 8 monastic precepts and other things. This is a silent retreat. After this session, so everybody should observe silence. There's a word, noble silence. I don't know whether you're able to practice noble silence or not. As in my knowledge, only the Arahant can observe noble silence. Which means even you don't have thoughts inside. So in here, silence means sipa, no talks. Don't bring your cell phone here, please. There's a meditation hall. This place is secret as well as sacred. Secret as well as sacred. Therefore, don't bring your cell phone here. We have to protect our secret here. That's why we are asking. And we respect the Buddha, so therefore we are not bringing our cell phone here. And generally, as a person who is participating in the retreat, pay full attention to your practice. Therefore, we would like to suggest you to away from your cell phones. If you are really need to use it, you can use it in your room, not in the public other places like in dining hall and other places. These are very important for your practice. Also, I think at the orientation, you might get the information about the telephone line where we have. If there is any emergency situation, we can dial up. The telephone line is there in Sangha Hall. You can dial up anytime from there. You can use it. So these are the basic things. So let us start. You can turn into page number 10. So in here, Atthanga Sila Yachana, we conducting all these, I mean, these observances in Pali language. Pali is the original language regarding the Dhamma. All original teachings are in Pali. So therefore, Theravada tradition, this center belongs to Theravada traditions. In Theravada tradition, we have a tradition to follow Pali. Therefore, most of the time we like to connect with Pali, which was the Buddha's spoken language. All the sermons given by Pali. So you may not able to understand Pali right away. It take time. So, but we want to help you to be familiar with these words. If someone really go to practice Dhamma, yes, of course, they have to know Pali at least little bit, at least little bit, to get the real meaning. There is a reason for that. For example, the word dukkha in Pali, we translate into English as suffering. Suffering. When we use this word in general meaning, we are not able to connect with that real meaning what Buddha meant. And there are other things. In here also we have example. Buddham saranam gacchami is the Pali sentence. In here we translate into English. I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Buddha for refuge. Refuge, these words we are borrowing from the English language, and then we may not be able to get the real meaning. Buddham saranam gacchami, real meaning is I am ready to, I'm promising to myself to follow the Buddha's path, how Buddha practice. The way how Buddha practice, I'm also ready to follow, to apply that method myself. That is the meaning of that Buddha Saranam Gacchami. I don't think we can get that meaning with this English translation, I go to the Buddha for refuge. Directly, this word refuge connected with the religious concept. Religious concept. The Buddha never asked anyone to follow him blind, developing blind faith. Buddha taught us to open our mind to develop our thinking ability. So we are applying the teachings of the Buddha to our day-to-day life for what? To open our mind, to develop our mind, not to be blind person. So therefore, see, translations make some difficult because these words already used in different religious meaning. So therefore, Theravada tradition directly connect with the Pali language because to protect this nature. At the end, if someone really practicing Dhamma, they are paying attention to learn Pali and connect with the direct teachings of the Buddha. As you know, the main translator is Bhikkhu Bodhi in this country. He spent 37 years in Sri Lanka to learn Pali. And then he started to translate all the books into English. So that is the way how we should do. I mean, if someone really wanted to learn teachings of the Buddha, they have to know Pali at least in some decreasing basic level to clarify all these real meaning, to get the real meaning. That's why we try to keep these traditions. Sometimes maybe none of you may not able to understand any of these words, but just to pay attention to be familiar with these words because it will help you in your practice. But anyway, let's start this Ashtanga Sila. So in here you can see lay people how they're supposed to start and then the way how the procedure is going. So lay people supposed to ask, from the monks to give us eight monastic precepts. That's the meaning of the first stanzas. So lay followers all together can start. Sunya, you can lead. Yamahang vadami tam vadet Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Buddham saranam gacchami Dhammam saranam gacchami Sangham saranam gacchami Dutiyampi buddham saranam gacchami Dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami Isarana gamanam sampunnam Panatipata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami Adinādana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami Brahmacharya veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami Musāvāda veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami Suramira majjapama dattana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami Natcha gita vadita Visuka dasana Mala gandha vilepana Dharana mandana Vibhusanatana Veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami Uccāma sayana māsayana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami Imang attanga silang samadhiyami. Visaranihina saddhim attanga silang dhammang samadhayitva sadhukam surakitam katva napramadena sampadetabvam. Silena sugatinyante silena bhoga sampada silena nibbutinyante tasma silam visodhe. So you can see the meaning of these precepts, these promises you make to yourself. You did not make any promises for me. What are the promises that you make? Abstaining from killing, Panatipata, Vedamani. Abstaining from stealing, abstaining from all sexual activities, abstaining from false speech, abstaining from intoxicants and drugs, and abstaining from eating at inappropriate time, abstaining from dancing, singing, music, shows, wearing garlands, using perfumes and all these beautifiers, and abstaining from high and large seats. These are the vows that you promise to yourself, not to the Buddha, not to the Dhamma or the Sangha. You promise to yourself. Why? What is the purpose of these observances? As I mentioned, these are completely regarding our relaxation, to develop our mental health. We are talking about our mental health, the most dangerous and harmful things. Stress. We are the point to have a stress. What is the starting point of stress? Fear and doubt. Fear and doubt is the first things to start and gain stress. Why we have fear and doubt? What is the reason to have fear and doubt? Is completely depending on our actions. These are the main actions that we develop our stress, fear and doubt. You might remember, you might heard that the story. At the enlightenment of the Buddha, Buddha was visiting his father. Former wife Yasodhara was there, and she was showing his 7 years old son. Okay, that is your father. He has kind of heritage. He did not hand it to me, so therefore forego him and ask those heritage. Then that little one was directly connected with Buddha because everybody knew he is former son of the Buddha. Therefore, no one was there to stop him. Directly went to and holding the finger of the Buddha was asking, Father, where is my heritage? Please give me. Then the Buddha turned into Venerable Sariputta, the chief disciple, one of chief disciples of the Buddha, and turned into Venerable Sariputta, asked the Buddha, Venerable Sariputta, this young fellow is asking heritage, family heritage. So please give me. Then what Venerable Sariputta did? Venerable Sariputta take into the temple and then he owed it because he was asking heritage. The Buddha's heritage is in here. So the Buddha and the Venerable other monks wanted to help him to get his heritage. So then they owed it. So therefore, after his ordination at the age 10 or 15, he attained enlightenment. He attained enlightenment at a very young age. Venerable Rahula attained enlightenment. India, the heritage, the Buddha was talking about the seven kind of heritage. Sapta Arya Dhani. There are seven noble heritage. In that Sapta Arya Dhani, Saddhadana, Siladana, Chagadana, in this category, in this procedure, there's a particular one which we call Hiriottapyan Dana. Hiriottapyan Dana. Hiriottap means fear and shame. So it is one of noble heritage. So therefore, we observe precepts to gain that heritage, to get that heritage. It means precepts are very supportive. Precepts are very helpful us to maintain happiness, to increase our happiness, to live without worries and other troubles. So how it's come? For example, just think about if someone did any kind of these precepts breaking, so then definitely they have doubt and fear. Not even human beings, just think about the other living beings. Particularly, we can think about our domestic living beings, cats, dogs. When you steal something, you don't know. But when you are getting to there, you can see their different behavior will be there. They are not directly coming to us. They are trying to make some waves there, hiding here and there, and just look in our faces. And they are also measuring now us. Then they like to reach us, to check everything, and then, oh, okay, there's no trouble. They don't know anything about my behavior. Having that confidence, now they're ready to go. It means even the living beings like cats, dogs, if they have any breaking of precepts, so they have doubt and fear. It's very simple. We learn these things traditionally from in our culture, that traditional Buddhist culture in Sri Lanka. We learn these things from our grandparents, ancestors. When we were kids, they asked him to join with them in story time. There's a story. It's a kind of traditional story. We call folk tale. Most of Sri Lankans might know that story, but I like to point out the very important part there. So in that story, Hulora Karendani, there was a farmer who was very intelligent person, and also he was cultivating vegetables and other things in his farmland. He was very happy in this period. Now he's ready to harvest his first crop, and waiting and waiting. He had been noticing some important things there. There was ash melon. Those ash melons are getting ripe. Now he was thinking, okay, this one is noticeable, ready to pick up, and he decided to pick it up tomorrow, next day morning. It's kind of a habit or kind of traditions, culture that the Brahmas have. We don't know the meaning of that, but anyway, they like to pick things in the morning. Somehow, he decided, okay, tomorrow morning, next day morning, I will come and I will pick it up. He was very happy about his harvest. And then, following day morning, when he going there, that ash melon, which was ripe enough to pick it up, missing. It disappeared. So he was very upset about his first call. And then he was a smart guy. He wanted to find out the person who did this. He was very curious about that, and then took a bell went to the place where the people are gathering for their daily basic needs. That is which we call town. So now he is entered the town. At the town, he started to play a kind of drama, doing dancing. Now he started to dance there. People who were there, I mean, they were there to do other business, but looking at this dancing, they flocked together. They are surrounding him. They gathered there, looking at him, looking at that farmer's dance. So now people are surrounding him. They were surrounding. He started to sing a song. The last sentences was that song is Puhul Hora Karen Demi. I can recognize the person who's stolen my ash melon, looking at his shoulder, looking at his shoulder. So suddenly there was a person, he was looking at his shoulder, start to wipe. So then directly that farmer went to him and then called and then said, you are the person who stolen my ash melon. So then there's a question for us. Was there any ash on his shoulder? No. If there was, directly he can ask him. But there wasn't anything. But why that person is start to wipe up after that song? Because he was living with doubt and fear. When he heard that word, I can recognize the person who took my ash melon. Looking at his shoulder, he was very curious and doubtful, and then he was thinking himself whether he is talking about me. So he wanted to protect himself. That's why he tried to wipe it. It means when we done any wrong, we have doubt and fear. No one can stop that. It doesn't matter what culture you belong. It doesn't matter which country you are living. It doesn't matter which world you are living. Even you are living among the celestial beings, it doesn't matter. If you done any mistake, any wrong thing, your doubt and fear will be there same as a result of that your action. So these things not taking time, timeless. That's the nature of the Dharma. Akalika, timeless, right away. You have doubt and fear there. When you are not able to get rid of that doubt and fear from your mind, as a result of that doubt and fear, stress arising. When you are not able to take care of your stress, anxiety. When you are not able to take care of your anxiety, you would be depressed. So now depression. Now definitely you have to go to treatment. Don't come to me. Go to psychiatrist when that time. So therefore, we observe precepts to develop our inner peace. That is the meaning of these observances. But traditionally, some people, they believe if someone observes 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 10 precepts, or whatever these precepts are, oh, they are becoming Buddhist. No way. Just observing precepts, no one can be Buddhist. Just observing precepts, yes, of course, you can develop your inner peace, your happiness. You are free from suffering. You are free from, in some degrees. You can be free from doubt and fear, stress. So, who don't need this? Who don't want to live with stress? Is there someone who want to live with stress? No one want to live with stress. No one want to live with anxiety or depression. Everyone like to be happy, relaxed. So that's why around the world people are doing so many activities to be relaxed, to relax. There are some very good activities as well as there are some activities that they use to relax, but without knowing, they increase their stress. Without knowing, they increase their stress. Some techniques are not unique. Some techniques are very, I mean, surface level. some people are using, even in modern psychiatric treatment plans, they have, okay, fishing, hunting, those things they use as a stress management techniques. But in one of my articles, I made arguments now. These are not unique. These are not universal. These are only can practice in particular culture only. Why? If someone asking me to practice fishing and hunting, my stress is going up. I can't manage my stress because I know those living beings also like to live happily, peacefully. If someone disturbing to you, you don't like it. If you don't like how other like, they never like it. So therefore, my stress is not able to manage through these kind of activities. Therefore, in this world, there are people who are applying this method to manage their stress. But the Buddha did not appreciate that kind of techniques to apply to reduce their stress. But this is the technique that Buddha introduced. This is completely about the Buddhist psychology. Buddhist psychology. We observe these precepts to reduce our stress, to increase our happiness. This is the main purpose of these observances. Therefore, not just only you, even the people who don't know anything about meditation or teachings of the Buddha, they are willing to be happy. So whenever you have opportunity, you can share these methods with them. This is the way how the Buddha guided us to practice and to increase our happiness, to reduce our stress. So mindfulness is there while you are maintaining calm, peaceful mind, which is very supportive to gain your mindfulness. When we are talking about mindfulness, there's a particular word that we use in Pali, Yonisu Manasikara. That word is very important. But mostly we use the word mindfulness. That's the famous word around the world. But that Pali word, keep in your mind, Yonisu Manasikara. Yoni means origin. Origin of your thoughts. If someone can see origin of your thoughts, that is the real mindfulness. That is the real mindfulness what Buddha meant. So when thoughts are arising in your mind, right away, if you can see the roots, which roots are there, so your mindfulness is very good. And also, same time, you know whether it is wholesome or unwholesome. There are 6 kind of roots. 3 roots are unwholesome, 3 roots are wholesome. So what are the unwholesome roots? Desire or greediness and hatred and ignorance or delusions. These 3 roots are the roots that we consider as unwholesome roots. So, regarding your thoughts, if you can directly recognize, okay, these thoughts might be regarding my ignorance. Oh, these thoughts that arising in my mind is regarding my greed. Oh, these thoughts regarding hatred. Right away, if you can recognize it, you can pay attention to it and then you can reduce and you can change your action, behavior. For example, sometimes while you are having some kind of arguments with others, then you are ready to use some words. Later on, you need to think about, what the hell I used that bad word there. Better not to use that word, bad word. You are thinking thus later, few minutes or few hours later. Then time has gone. Things to happen. Already things are happening. So why it's happening? Because you are not mindful at that time. So you just use that word without thinking the roots of that thoughts. So therefore, mindfulness means right away you can connect with the origin of that thoughts and you are paying attention to control. No, no, no. I don't know to use these words now. I don't know to do this now. because this is not something wholesome, something not helpful to me or others. You can get all these measurements through that mindfulness. So mindfulness is this much deep. This is also just a surface level of Buddhist mindfulness. So therefore, we practice meditation to develop mindfulness. Observing precepts are very helpful to develop your mindfulness through your practice. So if you are not observing precepts, so your mind not able to keep calm and quiet. Mind always, the nature of mind is running here and there. Nature of mind is running here and there. The Buddha used similes to explain the nature of mind, mundane mind. Varijova tale kitto kamokata obboto. Fish always like to stay in the water. That is their life. If someone taken out from water, that fish taken out from the water, that fish always trying to pay full attention and use his whole energy to get into water. They can't live without water. So mind also, if your mind is not developed enough, always like to hanging around with your thoughts regarding past and future, not in the present. Not in the present. Past and future. So therefore, to control your mind, you need extra support. We can get that support from our observances. So other activity, there are 3 activities to develop our mind. Practicing generosity. Generousness is very important. Now in here, Sila, we are talking about morality and meditation and generosity, generousness. So the generousness means you have loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, equanimity, all these qualities. You are ready to share your knowledge, you are ready to share your experiences, and if there is anything necessary things, any support for any living beings, it doesn't matter. You don't have any judgment. So you ready to offer your experience, benefits for that person. That is the meaning of generousness. Your compassion is there, loving friendliness is there, sympathetic joy as well as equanimity is there. All these qualities are there with the generousness. Generousness means all these qualities. So, which is very supportive to relax yourself. If you are reacting some words, if you are reacting some others' behavior with these qualities, loving kindness, compassion, sympathy, joy, and equanimity, you don't have any harmful, nasty thoughts there. You don't have any kind of dangerous, fearful thoughts there. You don't have any fear there. You're very peaceful, you're very happy there. So you can live everywhere like a lion. You can live everywhere as a lion because you don't have fear. Without living without fear means you have qualities of the lion's qualities, very brave. You can go everywhere. You don't have any matter there because you have confidence of your word, your actions. So this is the way how we can develop our mindfulness. So dear friends, we observe reception to get a support for our practice. What kind of what is the main purpose of this practice? To gain wisdom. To gain wisdom is not easy. There's a procedure. In that procedure, first stage is mindfulness. Mindfulness in Pali we call sati, and then we can develop that mindfulness into concentration. Through the concentration, we can gain wisdom. The person who able to gain wisdom, that person have special quality, that is which we call thinking ability, to think deeply, widely, and quickly. Deeply, widely, and quickly. These words are not enough to explain that word, but for now, we can borrow these words. To think quickly, widely, and deeply. Quickly means we don't have any measurements I mean, the word that we can, general words to explain this quickness. We know only nanoseconds, seconds, hours, all these are the measurements that we use in general way. But to explain about this quickness, there is no way word, there is no any words. Quickness is like this. Thoughts can arise and disappear from our mind within in 1 nanosecond. The Pali word that we use, chittakshana, shana, chittakshana. Chittakshana, huh? We can borrow that word nanosecond. I don't think really we can get that real meaning about chittakshana. Millions of chittakshana are there in 1 second. In 1 second, millions of chittakshana are there. Millions. Actually, not millions, billions. So therefore, our thoughts arise and depart in vanishing within in that chittakshana. For now, we don't have any other word, therefore we can borrow that word nanosecond. Within in 1 nanosecond, thoughts can arise and vanish. If someone can recognize in this much speed, so that person's mind is already developed, he already have wisdom. So this is the meaning of speed that we are talking about, thinking deeply, widely, quickly. So that is wisdom. The person who gains wisdom is always can be happy because he knows the nature of mind. Right away he can recognize the thoughts, so he can control. There's nothing to control his actions because he already eliminated defilements from his mind. No any effect of any defilements. So therefore, he don't have this guarantee. There is no any harmful actions from that kind of person. So this is the way how we can gain eternal happiness. We are looking happiness. We are spending time to be happy. We are searching happiness. We are doing so many things to be happy. But this is the main one and only path to be happy as well as to establish our happiness forever. How? Eliminating all defilements from your mind. To eliminate, yes, of course, you have to gain wisdom. You have to develop your concentration. You have to gain mindfulness. All these are the requirements. Without gaining your mindfulness, there is no concentration. No concentration means there is no way to gain wisdom. No wisdom means you are blind. You don't able to see your mind. You don't see the roots of that thoughts, whether it is wholesome or unwholesome. You don't know nothing. That's why we have word for that. You are blind. You are blind. In that blind situation, you ready to do like a puppet. You don't know what you are doing, but things are happening. You have stories of these things. You have so many explanations of these things, but you don't know what you are doing because it is out of control for you. Out of control. Why? You don't have mindfulness, you don't have concentration, you don't have wisdom. Everything happening out of control. For example, every day morning you need very important thing, toothbrush. You need toothpaste. Think about toothpaste that you have in your bathroom. There are so many different brands. Why you selected particularly that brand to have in your bathroom? Is there any answer for this? No. In this world, people who know psychology, they influence you to have that brand. They influence using many ways, using many fake informations. Then at the end, you don't know what is happening there. When you go to buy something, you like to buy that. No, there is no reason for that. But you ready to explain, oh, this is very good. for my teeth. This has a fluoride, or this is very good for the gums. So many, but not really. There is no really for that. You have stories. Why? You are depending on information provided by others without doing research, without coming to conclusion yourself. You don't have any reality there, but you like to use it going through those information. Even the shirts that you are wearing, or shirts or whatever, I don't know the English name for even what they are wearing. I know what the males are wearing, that is called t-shirts and shirts. Why you are wearing these t-shirts and shirts? Program it there. Who did that program? Some information. Some information. Is there reality? Nothing in reality. Made up stories are there. So then our blindness is there. So then we automatically become puppets. Whatever the things that they say, we ready to follow their guidance. We don't have any ownership to decide our behavior, the things that you want to use, the way how you want to live. That's the ownership because of our blindness. We call it, this is blind faith. The blind faith is not just regarding the religious field. This is the way how we create this consuming society using so many advertisements and things. This is the blind faith. You don't open your mind. So why? You don't have mindfulness, you don't have concentration, you don't have wisdom. That's why you are connected with these mundane, we can use another word for honey trap. Hola, honey trap. You might know that idioms, honey traps. Yes, of course, to sell things, but what would be the advertisement that they use? I have noticed someone was showing me the advertisement selling tires. Selling tires, there's advertisement. You see a beautiful girl. What's the meaning there? You have to show a car or something like that related to the tire. But putting a picture of beautiful lady, tie is behind, there's a tie. This is a honey tie. So they're stimulating our lust, and then they're ready to sell things what they wanted. Why is this happening? Because we are blind, we are living with blind faith. We don't have wisdom. So time to time, we have different ideas and different thoughts. Different ideas and different thoughts. For example, in my experience, those days in our childhood, traditional Sri Lankan people, to brush their teeth, they use very simple things from their environment. Just they can go to that tree, they can take a branch, and they can brush their teeth. And they use what we call that charcoal. They use charcoal. Charcoal was there in their kitchen. Take out from the fire that charcoal. Doing some, but little things would be there. The process is very simple, and they can use that charcoal to brush their teeth. Nowadays, later on, those kind of things became kind of the same. What the hell, you are not living in this 20th century. You are living in the 18th century. You are using still these traditional things. Nowadays, charcoal toothpaste are becoming very attractive, very famous. Now we like to use charcoal. Those days, we refused to use it. Why is happening this? Because of our blindness, because of our blind faith. So now you can see why we need wisdom, not just to attain enlightenment, even to manage in this life, to live happily and peacefully, to reduce our worries. To live happily, yes, of course, we have to open our mind. We have to develop our thinking ability. Without thinking ability, there's no way to be happy, to have comfortable life. So these are main purpose of our life. So you are here to join with us to this retreat, having that purpose. To gain wisdom is the main purpose. Not just to reduce stress, anxiety, depression, these are very simple things. If you are developing your wisdom, don't talk about stress, anxiety. Those things will disappear right away. So let's start our meditation. In this moment, we can take to practice meditation. We normally start with the loving kindness meditation. So in this book, you can turn into page number 46, 40, actually 47. Metta Sutta, discourse of loving kindness. We can chant this discourse, and then we can start to practice loving kindness meditation. Let's chant together these English translations. One is still in good wishing to attain that state of peace should act thus. One should be able, straight, upright, obedient, gentle, and humble. One should be content, easy to support with few duties, living lightly, control his senses, discreet, not impudent, unattached to things. One should not do any slight wrong, which the wise find sensual. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings they are living, without exception, be or strong, low or large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth. May all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere, neither from naked nor ill should anyone wish harm to them. As a mother risks all life to protect her only child, even so towards all living beings, one should cultivate boundless. One should cultivate all the world, the heart of boundless loving kindness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment. Whether standing, walking, or sitting, lying down, or whenever way, one should develop this kindness. This is called divine unity, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision. Removing desire for sexual pleasures, one comes never again to birth in the womb. By the power of this truth, may all things have a being. By the power of this truth, may all things have a being. By the power of this truth, may all things have a being. Excellent, excellent, excellent.